So in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys a step-by-step guide on how to sew this beautiful kaftan dress with lace around the sleeve border and also a baby collar. Thank you for stopping by. It's your girl, Owa Apparel. Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So I have on the table 3 yards of Ankara fabric. If you know you do not like kaftan with joining on any part of the outfit, it is better to buy 4 yards. But in this video, I'll be using 3 yards. So to get a perfect view on how to draft this pattern, I am going to be doing it on my floor. So I have my fabric already cut out for both the back and the front, and you can see the zipper allowance left at the back of this dress. So the width for the front fabric is 16 inches in a fold, while that of the back is 18 inches because of the zipper allowance, and the full length of this gown is going to be 60 inches. So the very first measurement I'm taking at the top there is the neckline measurement. So for the back, it is 3 inches width and 2 inches of depth, while for the front is 3 inches into 3 inches, and I'm simply connecting the points now using my free hand. You could use your curve rule as well. Okay, so that's the neckline pattern for both the front and the back. So next I'm going to be taking my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 15 divided by 2. It gave me 7.5, and I will also be taking the sleeve length. I took a measurement of 7 inches for the sleeve length, and from that point there for the sleeve length I went down by 1.5 inches, and I'm connecting it back into the neckline. This will serve for our shoulder slope. And so for the width of the sleeve, it is 9 inches. So this is 8 inches plus extra 1 inch for seam allowance. It gave me 9. And so from that point, I took my chest line measurement. So on that line, that's where we're going to be taking our bust circumference measurement. So next to it is my waist point, and I will be ruling a straight line across that point. So after that, I would also be taking my hip point and then the full length of the dress. So my hip point from the top is 25 inches, while my waist was 16 inches. So on my chest line, I will be taking my bust circumference measurement of 40 inches divided by 4 to give me 10, and I'll be adding extra 2-inch seam allowance to it. This will serve for ease and also for seam allowance. So you could make yours 1.5 if you want, or 2 inches. So the next measurement I'm going to be taking will be on my waistline. So my waist is 32 inches divided by 4 will give me 8, and I also went ahead to add an extra 2-inch allowance to it. You could also go for 3 inches. The option is yours. So on my hip line, I'll be taking my hip measurement of 10 inches and added an extra 3 inches to it on the hip line. So this will also serve for ease and also for allowance, seam allowance. So I'm simply using my curve rule now to connect all the points together, and from the hip point I'll be running a straight line all the way to the end or the border of this dress. And around the armhole there, I'm going to be connecting that point using my free hand. I will simply be drafting a curve. So next, I'm going to be drafting the pocket area for this dress. But looking at the material, you could already see that the area where we're going to be having the pocket fabric is actually not enough, and I do not have extra fabric to use. So you can see I'm reshaping this outfit from the waist area connecting it to the hip. So to be able to draft your pocket properly, the length of fabric you would require is 10 inches while the width is 6 inches. So this will enable you draft your curve for your pocket, okay? Because this pocket is the one you cut along with your fabric or your style, your design. And then I went ahead to take the straight line all the way to the border area of the kaftan, okay? So I've gone ahead now to cut out my pattern, as you can see. So I also left extra fabric of about 2 inches for my folding on the side. You would understand why we need that fabric later on in the video. So next, I'm simply placing the front fabric on top of the back fabric, the right sides facing each other, and I'll go ahead to stitch first around the shoulder. So after I was done, this is what it is now looking like, as you can see. So next, I'm going to be drafting the pattern for our baby collar that was attached to this dress. So I have my piece of fabric here already, and it is in a fold. It's folded into two. So you can see what I'm doing it. I'm placing it under the neck pattern for this dress, and I'm doing it so that it will enable me draft that curve, as you can see, around the neck area. Please take note of how this fabric is folded. This is the proper way for it to be folded so as to be able to draft the pattern for our baby collar, okay? So I'm holding it in place using my pins first before cutting out the portion that I'll be cutting out. So I'm simply using my chalk now to mark the portion that I'll be cutting out around the neck area. So after doing this, I would go ahead to flip the fabric over to the other side after cutting, and then I would also be shaping my pattern. So you can see I'm using my hand to indicate where the baby collar is going to be. So I took a measurement of 3.5 inches. So this I'll take round this same measurement of 3.5 inches. You can see I'm using my hand to take to check where the neck round is. First, I was supposed to cut the fabric before doing this, cut that round curve and on the neck first before continuing to draft this pattern. But using this method is still perfectly fine. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So this cutting was what I was talking about, that I ought to cut it first before drafting on the back. So I flipped it over to the other side now, and I'm cutting out my cuff pattern. So this material you're seeing is going to be in two pieces. So I'll go ahead now to detach it from the neck, as you can see, and using my chalk I'm going to be drafting the pattern for the front of the baby collar. So there is a shape around there. After drafting, I'm simply cutting right now, and after I was done, I'm going to be placing it so you would see what it would look like around the neck area. So this is the baby collar, and this is what it will be looking like. So take note that this fabric is in two pieces. So I would also be cutting the lining that will be on the bottom of this neck pattern. You could use your fabric, but like I said, the fabric wasn't enough, and so I had to use my lining piece to finish it up. So I'm simply using my chalk rule now to draft a curve of about half of an inch around the border area of this fabric which we had cut out for the neck pattern, and I'm simply flipping it over to the right side now. So after that, I'll go ahead to iron it out first before attaching it to my kaftan dress. So you can see the way I'm placing it. The lining portion is facing up, and then the baby collar is placed on the wrong side of the fabric. So we're going to stitch it from that side first before flipping it over to the right side. So after I was done, this is what it is looking like. Very fine already. Okay, so next, we're going to be attaching our lace to our sleeve border. But first of all, I've gone ahead to make a fold around the sleeve border, as you can see. And now I'm going to be attaching my lace. You can see the lace is very fine. It's a very beautiful lace. And I'll go ahead to run my top stitch on that portion which I indicated with my finger, and I will also be repeating it for the other side. So after I was done stitching, this is what it is looking like. So next I'm going to be flipping my fabric over to the wrong sides, as you can see, and I'll go ahead to run my stitches on the sides, on both sides. So I will take a measurement of about 1 inch or a little less than 1 inch. Please take note of where my stitching is going to stop on the side. You could see that I showed us using my chalk to indicate the portion where the stitching would end. Okay, so take note of what I'm doing now. I'm trimming out the excess of fabric on the side, but please, you can see that I didn't trim it all the way to the border area. I'm trimming this excess portion out so that while ironing, it will be easy and the fabric will be smooth. So that portion I left out that is wider is where we are going to be folding inward. Okay, so usually if you know about a Bubu Kaftan dress, it usually has opening on the side, and then the piece of fabric is folded inward. So you can see what I'm doing right now. So this is why we needed that extra portion there that was left out. Okay, so I'm done stitching on the sides now. Next, I'm simply indicating the portion where we're going to be stitching at the back. So we'll leave out the portion for the zipper allowance. So guys, this is what my fabric is looking like. After I was done stitching, you can see I had gone ahead to iron it out. It is really looking beautiful. I've also gone ahead to attach my zipper at the back. It's a very simple top, it's a very simple Bubu Kaftan style. I love the lace on the side. It gave it a different look entirely. So the last and final thing we're going to be doing is attaching our zipper to the back of our Bubu Kaftan dress. Thank you so much guys for stopping by. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. You could leave us a comment below in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you on the next